Why Iron Man and Anthem's Javelins are not the same. Are the Javelins in Anthem just Iron Man suits? Ever since Tony Stark took to the skies for the first time in 2008's Iron Man, many gamers have yearned to fly like old Shellhead in a video game. Nothing's quite come close to emulating it, except now maybe Anthem. And we're not the first to draw the comparison. How the game's exosuits fly and handle look like Iron Man or War Machine in mid-flight. Even the game's producer Mike Gamble is on the record as saying Iron Man and other Marvel heroes provided inspiration for the game. But the Javelin suits are not Iron Man armor. In fact, they're very different, and you're about to find out why. Okay, so this one's a bit obvious, but Anthem's Javelins are distinct from how Iron Man's looks. Each are their own thing from the head to toe. When you enter a Javelin, the first thing you notice is the padded lining reminiscent of World War II aircraft and diving or astronaut suits. That's a far cry from Stark Industries' super sleek armored exoskeletons. All of Stark's suits, apart from a few, are fitting to his form. Javelins just aren't that. Let's look at the height. Iron Man's armors typically measure in at around 6 foot 5 inches. They start at his feet and cover him from head to toe. Again, Javelins are different. They are 7 feet minimum and can be several feet taller depending on which variation you choose. When a pilot enters a Javelin, they're not entering it at the base of the feet. No, spectators of myth, they enter it at the knees. And this brings us on to the next difference, your maximum flying altitude. Iron Man in 2018's Avengers Infinity War was able to fly from the Earth's surface to space and break into an alien ship. Even the earlier Iron Man armors could fly to levels well above the Earth. However, Anthem's Javelins do not allow for flight at those altitudes. The thrusters on these exosuits have a tendency to overheat, so if you fly or hover for too long, you'll soon find yourself falling to the ground. Word is that you'll be able to upgrade the Javelin to fly for longer periods, but it seems that, at least for now, that flight isn't for prolonged periods in the world of Anthem. Tony Stark has Jarvis, Friday, and any number of other advanced artificial intelligences running at once whenever he's at home or in the armor. That's an awesome safety net, but it's also something that the Javelins are without. According to Anthem executive producer Mark Dara, players will have a Cipher. They're a human who interacts with you while you're in the suit. Anthem's lead writer Kathleen Russert explained that Ciphers are people with super telepathic abilities, so from that, it seems like they help you communicate. They're also said to provide support from something called an amplifier chair. Jarvis provides similar functions and so much more for Iron Man and the Avengers, but he's not a flesh-and-bone human. He is a computer, and later a witch-wooing android in the movies, but still a synthetic intelligence nonetheless. Anthem Ciphers, meanwhile, are super talented humans with special abilities, but they're still human, and that, spectators of myth, makes them prone to mistakes and even death. But it's Microchips, or Anthem's lack thereof, that is the biggest reason that Javelins and Iron Man armor are not the same. The vast majority of Iron Man's armors use technology that rely on onboard computers and AI. At some point or another, all of these gizmos require microchips. And that's something the world of Anthem does not have. Seriously, these flying armored exosuit arsenals apparently exist in a world with no microchips. Writing on Twitter, Anthem EP Mark Dara said, quote, "Two IP directions for Anthem. Anthem is a world without microchips and a world without mass production." End quote. Microchips, or integrated circuitry, are a keystone of the modern world and have been for decades. Everything from your microwave to your radio, smartphone, and games console rely on microchips to function. Before microchips, computers were gigantic, sometimes taking up entire rooms and even more. This was because devices in the early 20th century relied heavily on bulky vacuum tubes in order to function. The development of transistors, and later the microchip, changed all that. In fact, the closest Anthem's Javelins and Iron Man technology get, it seems, is Iron Man's Mark I armor. That's the one Tony built in a cave while being held by bad guys in Iron Man 1. The Mark I is very crude and bulky compared to the Javelins and later Iron Man armors. It's got a manual rocket launcher, flamethrower, and is resistant to small firearms. The Mark I also has jet boots, but these are used for getaways and seemingly have no aerodynamic control. However, unlike the Javelins, the suit still has some basic computer programming and code running through it. It's all very basic, but required a computer, and therefore microchips nonetheless. So the question remains, just how are Anthem's Javelins powered? What kind of technology is needed in order to get these exosuits to fly, battle, and handle as they do? Sadly, we do not know, but we're sure in time we'll find out. And hey, if you want us to do a video on that, tell us in the comments below. But as always, spectators of myth, this isn't goodbye. This is just until the next mythical video.